Hey guys, how's it going? It's Found, and a little less than a month ago, as of recording this, Nintendo released Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, the long awaited sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. I played this game since day one, and 60 plus, almost 70 hours in, I really just wanted to make a video to talk about my thoughts on the game. I thought about doing a more scripted video, but honestly, I really just want to throw my thoughts out there. I just have so much to talk about. I don't really want to throw myself down. I just kind of want to ramble like the idiot that I am, and just share about how much I honestly have fallen in love with this game. So yeah, let's just talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So first of all, I really like the characters in this game, and that's no surprise. Xenoblade Chronicles, the whole series, has likable characters, especially Xenoblade Chronicles 1. And this game, your main party is just such a great group of characters, and they're all unique from each other. No one is necessarily infinitely more likable than another. All six of them are great, and I'm just a super huge fan of the voice acting, especially when it comes to the more dramatic bits of the story, which we will get into later. Just all the characters are so well, and they're unique, and they're likable, they're funny, they're real, they're dramatic, all that kind of stuff. They are such great characters, and that's just talking about the main six. That's not even getting into hero characters, which this is going to be spoiler free, so I'm not really going to get into that. But those characters also add their own individual bits of depth to the world and the story of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So obviously, the whole point of this game is it's a combination of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. Their worlds have come together somehow, and you're living in the consequences of that. The worlds from Xenoblade 1 and 2 are fighting for some reason, and your main party are three kids from each nation who come together and become what's called Ouroboros, which is like a super form that you take where two people combine and basically go crazy, and you fight off the kind of puppet masters behind this, which are called the consoles, or Mobius, as the main cast calls them. But yeah, this setup works really well. It builds off of nostalgia without being too reliant on the past games. It's a premise that if you're a fan of the series, then it's going to grab you, and if you're not a fan, then you can still follow it. But yeah, it's a really great setup for the game, and this goes directly into the gameplay or the combat in terms of Ouroboros. The combat, as with Xenoblade 1 and 2, is really great. It feels like this one follows a little bit more after the style of 2's combat, but it's so sleek, man. And when I first started, I was kind of worried that having 6 characters might make things a little overwhelming, hard to follow, or like you'd be knocking out guys too easily and it wouldn't be too easy. But no, there is a decent amount of depth and challenge, just like there have been in past games. And actually the exact opposite, having 6 characters and having a more defined like class system with attackers, defenders, and healers, so you know what each class is supposed to do, what role each of them are supposed to play, really helps to kind of streamline everything, so that even though 6 characters are on the screen at once, you know what everyone is supposed to be doing, and everyone is working together. And of course, you can adjust all of their arts and movesets so that each of them can have the exact setups you want in terms of setting up combos, like the infamous break topple days combo or the break topple launch combo, that kind of stuff. You can set all of that up to your heart's desire, whatever combo you want. And even if you have both combos, you have ways to customize, like when your team uses combos, what types of combos they use, which enemies should they attack. If they have multiple enemies, should they attack, or should they all gather to you? Some of this stuff is from previous games, but the fact that it's been introduced again in this game, along with other customizable features during battle, really helps to keep you in control. And also being able to switch characters in this game, which is such a godsend, because I remember playing Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2 and having moments where the one of your teammates would just not do what you want them to do, and I was thinking, if only I could just switch over for like just 2 seconds so that they could heal me or so that they could draw aggro or something like that, and you just couldn't do that. You can do that in this game, and ironically enough, I don't think I've used the feature as much as I thought I would. I think I've been a lot more comfortable just sticking with whichever character I was controlling, usually not Nia, usually Noah or Mio, that's her name. Usually being able to control them, that's usually where I stay. It's just where I'm comfortable, because those are kind of the main characters, even though they're not really supposed to be the quote-unquote main characters. They are. The other 4 mainly supporting cast with really big roles in the story, but the focus ends up being on Noah or Mio. Again, that's for the story discussion, but back to the gameplay. Usually I just stick with whatever character I'm controlling, but still having that option is really helpful. And other helpful stuff, they have dash features, which allows you to move around the battlefield more quickly. Like, say if you're a healer and you need to revive somebody or you need to heal somebody, you can dash to the side or whatever. Just a lot of really helpful tools they added, to, not necessarily to change the gameplay, make it totally different, but just to enhance it. The chain attacks in this game are completely different from both 1 and 2, and honestly, I'm a super huge fan of what they did. Basically, instead of like just getting 1 art off each and then maybe getting a chance to do a second one, like in Xenoblade 1, or having the burst combo system in Xenoblade 2, this one totally overhauls it. Basically, every character gets an order, and you can choose their order. And if you complete that order, you get, if you manage to get 100% skill points on that order, or I think they're called chain points or T points, TP, something like that. If you get enough of those, then you complete that order and you move on to the next one. You get a total of 3, and because you get 3, unless your meter goes out in your chain attack, you get a total of 3. And if you manage to complete all 3, then you get a damage multiplier, and you keep on going. Every game, all 3 games in the series have had some sort of damage multiplier for chain attacks, especially the longer you have them go on, or if you defeat an enemy, you get an experience bonus, that kind of stuff. But the chain attack system, having an overhaul, I think honestly it does the series really good. I heard some people complain about the chain attack theme, which I think this is the first game to have a unique theme for the chain attack, if I'm remembering right. It's a great song. I don't think anybody's denying it's a great song. The one complaint I've heard is that it always overrides whatever song you were listening to in battle, which is totally fair, but I'm a huge fan of it, so I'm not too mad about it. Maybe like when it's a unique theme that you don't hear every time and it overrides that, I can totally see that. But I'm a huge fan of pretty much everything about the chain attack. Being able to build up that chain attack gauge, the bonus damage, and just really wreck somebody, especially when you add in heroes who don't take up your chain attack meter, so you actually get a fourth chain order off of them, and with the Ouroboros added, that gets another chain on top of that if you set it up right. So adding all of that together and just figuring out the best way to get there is really satisfying in terms of being able to set that up and just get your money's worth from your chain attack. But yeah, that part of the combat is really cool. The gameplay apart from combat. Now, apart from combat, and I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, because I'm not really trying to say it in a bad way, Xenoblade Chronicles, the whole series, is basically a walking simulator. You go from one place to another place. Now, you do exploration, you climb things, and you pick up things, and you meet and talk to people. I mean, this is in all kinds of RPGs. I'm mainly singling out Xenoblade Chronicles because it's the only real JRPG I have played. But that's basically what you're doing a lot of time. And again, the exploration aspect and getting to see the world, and obviously running into unique monsters and doing side quests along the way is very fun. Again, the world is really well put together. Yeah, in terms of that, yeah, the exploration is fun. The combat is the meat of it for me. But the exploration aspect and the, getting to meet all unique characters, as I said before, unique heroes, unique enemies, unique villains, getting into Mobius. Again, this is a spoiler-free video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, but it's all really cool. It's all really well done, and it is so, so good. And that music, man, I touched on it a little bit with the chain attack theme, but the music in this game, Ace knocked it out of the park once again. Oh man, they just keep on going, and I really love, and they did this in Xenoblade 2, obviously, how they continued in similar themes to the first game. So like how they have like engage the enemy. In Xenoblade 2, it was counterattack. In this game, it's a song called "The Way of Life," and oh, it is such a banger. They have "You Will Know Our Names," the finale, which is obviously meant to be a companion to "You Will Know Our Names" from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Just such great songs, man. And one of them's probably playing in the background of this video right now. It's all good. It's all good. And the battle themes and the character themes and the world themes I'm not as big a fan of compared to previous games. I think Xenoblade 2 had a lot of really great location themes. This one, like, they're all good. They're all well done. I'm just not a super huge fan of them. The battle themes just were knocked out of the park for this one. I'm such a huge fan of the battle themes in this game. The music was really, really well done. Xenoblade Chronicles, you can always count on this series for amazing music. Really, really good stuff. Finally, I just want to touch on the story real quick, and I said a few times, I really don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to get into spoiler territory. I have beaten the game, but man, this story was a doozy. I think, to put it simply, this story is on par with Xenoblade 1. I'm not going to say it's better, because I'm honestly not sure that it's better or worse, but it was a really good story. And in typical Xenoblade fashion, it's a story that was well thought out. It's not just JRPG filth. I don't know why I said filth. That was really harsh. It's not like you're just typical JRPG whatever. Like, it's really written to make you think, and it's I don't want to say philosophical, although that's kind of the word I want to use. Like, it actually has thoughts about the world, like how the world goes, how the world is, how the world could be. And, Xenoblade 1 obviously was basically the whole deal of that game was, trying to seize the future and making the future your own. Xenoblade 2 was talking a lot about the past, like Pyra's past and what she's been through, and kind of how Rex was able to help her move on and look to the present and the future. And this game is all about life lived well in the present, which is just super, super good. It's a great theming, and that actually a friend pointed out to me. Shout out to my friend BlueHunterZero. Yeah, just the story is just really well done. Again, I told you guys I was going to be rambling like an idiot, but the story is really good, and it really made me think. It really tugged at my heartstrings. It honestly almost made me cry, which is weird. No video game has ever done that before, has even brought me close to that. Maybe Smash, but that was more just about characters I liked getting in, and than actually the game itself. But yeah, there were parts of the story that really, really were dark. Obviously, it's about war, as I mentioned before. It's about war, it's about death, it's about loss, but it's also about life, and it's about hope, and it's about not giving up and trying to be better and trying to have a better life for yourself, which is a really good message for any time, but I think especially now it's really good. So yeah, I just really like this game, man, and I'm sounding like a broken record, I'm repeating myself, but I really just wanted to make this video to just get it all out and say, man, I really, really like I almost said Splatoon. Splatoon's coming out in a few weeks. I'm really, really excited for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm really looking forward to what the future of the game has in terms of the DLC added content. Based on the actual icon for the DLC, I'm really hoping that we get Shulk and Rex as heroes in the future. I feel like that's what that's referencing. It may not happen, but that's something that I think would be really cool. Shulk is probably still my favorite protagonist, although Noah and Mio, as I said, are really great. All the other characters, Tyon, Uni, Lance, Senna, they're all really great. And so, but just having Shulk and Rex as well would be really cool. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as unscripted and drawn out as they were, but I'm just a fan of the game and I really just wanted to share. Again, this is a no spoilers discussion, so I didn't get into anything super deep in terms of the story. I just wanted to share that I love the game, and that if you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 3 yet, or Xenoblade Chronicles 1 or 2, I would recommend all of them. If you haven't played 3, if you haven't played 1 before 3, I'd honestly say play 1 first, probably 2 as well. If you really just want to play 3 though, I can't stop you. The game is great, and I think you should try it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching and sticking around. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless you.